So today's class is creation from God to man. Creation from God to man.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
So verse 1 is a summary of what we're about to read. Verse 1 is just a summary. All right. Now, chapter 1 also gets summarized in chapter 2. Read again, Yuri.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters.
And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Can we put the picture of the Father up, Elisha? Can we put that up? I mean, Elisha. Oh, so Elisha, the Father. Let me look first. Put it up. I like that one you had. Elisha, can you put the Father up? No. I told you that is not him. Where's the one for the, which screen am I looking at? Okay, you put the wrong one up, Yuri. Elisha. No, we were in the back. You showed me one, that was the Father. That one right there. Okay, already. Verse 2 again.
And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters.
Read.
And God said, let there be light.
And God said, let there be light.
And there was light.
And there was light. Read on.
And God saw the light, that it was good.
God saw the light, that it was good.
And God divided the light from the darkness.
And God divided the light from the darkness. Now I'm going to pause right there. Now that in itself, many times we think we understand it, but it too is a metaphor. Okay? Give me John chapter 8, verse 12.
John chapter 8 and verse 12. Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world.
Christ said, I am the light of the world. Was that it?
He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness.
Shall not walk in darkness. Chapter 9 now, verse 5. John 9, verse 5.
John chapter 9 and verse 5. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world.
Christ said, as long as I'm in the world, I am the light of the world. Now, that's some heavy stuff right there. Let's go on back to Genesis chapter 1. And give me verse 3 one more again.
Yes, sir. And God said, let there be light.
Elisha, put the next image up. Nope. No, go back. Go back. Okay. Go back. Put the light back. Go to the light. All right, put that on the screen. Let me see another one, and don't put it on the screen yet. I got to see because I seem like you don't know what's going on. Give me the next one. Okay, that's fine. Put that on the screen. Okay. Now let me see another one. Okay, you put that one up already. Give me another one. Okay, okay. Go back to the beginning, Yuri. Elisha. I keep saying Yuri. Right, go back. Go. Click. Come on, click it. Click it. Right there. Go back. Right there. Put that on the screen. Yuri, can you please read John 9 and 5 again?
John chapter 9 and verse 5.
I see this is going to be a troublesome day right here. Go ahead.
As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world.
Now John 8 and 12.
John chapter 8 and verse 12. Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life.
Give me 2 Corinthians 4 and 6.
2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 6. For God, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, have shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ.
In the face of who?
Of Jesus Christ.
So that light that we've been reading about in the beginning was Christ. Okay. So from there, give me 2nd Esdras chapter 6. 2nd Esdras chapter 6. And we're going to read from verse 38.
2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse 38. And I said, O Lord, thou spakest from the beginning of the creation, even the first day, and said thus, let heaven and earth be made. And thy word was a perfect work. And then was the spirit and darkness, and silence were on every side. The sound of man's voice was not yet formed.
Man's voice was not yet formed. Go ahead.
Then commandest thou a fair light.
Then commandest thou a fair light, a beautiful light. Go ahead.
To come forth of thy treasures.
To come forth of thy treasures. Go ahead.
That thy work might appear.
Can you put the image back, Elisha? Not that one. Right there. Put that back. Okay. Well, all righty then. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 1.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 3. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness.
And God divided the light from the darkness. We're about to get into that in a minute. Go ahead.
And God called the light day.
God called the light day.
And the darkness he called night.
The darkness he called night. Go ahead.
And the evening and the morning were the first day.
Give me 2 Peter 1:19.
Second Peter chapter 1 and verse 19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well, that ye take heed as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn.
Until the day dawn. Go ahead.
And the day star arise in your hearts.
And the day star arise in your heart. That day star is who, brothers? That's Christ. Okay, from there, give me Ephesians 5 and 8.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 8. For ye were sometimes darkness.
So he says to us, you, brothers and sisters, were sometimes darkness. Go ahead.
But now are ye light in the Lord.
But now are you light in the Lord.
Walk as children of light.
He said, walk as children of light. Was that it, Yuri?
Yes, sir.
Go to 1 Thessalonians 5 and 5.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 5. Ye are all the children of light.
Ye are all the children of light. Go ahead.
And the children of the day.
And we are the children of the day. Go ahead.
We are not of the night.
We are not of the night.
Nor of darkness.
Nor of darkness. This is some interesting stuff. Give me Luke 16 and 8. This is Bible. You want Bible? This is Bible. Luke 16.
Luke chapter 16 and verse 8. And the Lord commended the unjust steward, because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light.
So he said people in the world, they operate better than us. But the point out of the verse, I don't want the whole parable. He refers to us as the children of light. Okay, now watch this. Revelation 1 and 8.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 8. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is and which was and which is to come, the Almighty.
Christ said, I'm Alpha, meaning I'm the first. He said, I'm Omega, meaning I am the last. The beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is and which was and which is to come, the Almighty. Now give me Proverbs 8:22. Before we go to first Proverbs 8, I think it's not in my notes. Yuri, help me out. I think it's Corinthians 1:24 about the wisdom of God.
Yes, sir.
Yuri, you know what I'm talking about? 1 Corinthians 1:24.
Yes, sir. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 24. But unto them which are called,
But unto them which are called into this truth, go ahead.
both Jews and Greeks,
Both Jews, southern kingdom, and Greeks, northern kingdom.
Christ, the power of God,
Christ is the power of God.
and the wisdom of God.
And Christ is the wisdom of God. I wanted that first before we go to Proverbs 8. Because now when we go to Proverbs chapter 8, let's take a look. Proverbs chapter 8, read verse 1, and we're going to just jump for time's sake.
Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 1. Doeth not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice?
Verse 11.
Verse 11. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it.
Remember what we read earlier about in Esdras, how the Lord took out of his treasure a fair light? Read on.
I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and find out knowledge of witty inventions.
Jump down to 22. So we're talking about wisdom. Now we just read that the wisdom of Christ is what? The wisdom of God. Remember in 1 Corinthians 1, you already forgot. Everybody know what I'm talking about? All right. That was 1 Corinthians 1:24. So Christ, the power of God and the wisdom of God. So now in verse 22, watch this.
Verse 22. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old.
Elisha, can you put the Father an image? These are just images. Yes. These are just, we're not saying that's them. Put it on the screen. Thank you. Read it again, Yuri.
The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way.
Now, can you put Christ up on the scene? The depiction of Christ. Nope. Yes, that one. Okay, read it again, Yuri.
The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old.
Okay, take it down, Alicia. Read.
I was set up from everlasting.
So Christ, the Alpha, he said, I was set up from everlasting. Go ahead.
From the beginning or ever the earth was.
I was set up from the beginning. That's why he said, I'm Alpha. He said, before ever the earth was made. Go ahead.
When there were no depths.
When there were no depths. Go ahead.
I was brought forth.
I was brought forth. Go ahead.
When there were no fountains abounding with water.
When there was no fountains abounding with water. Come on.
Before the mountains were settled. Before the hills was I brought forth.
So Christ is letting you know, when I say I'm the Alpha, when I say I am the beginning, I mean that. Go ahead.
While as yet he had not made the earth.
While as yet he had not made the earth. Go ahead.
Nor the fields.
Nor the fields.
Nor the highest part of the dust of the world.
Read.
When he prepared the heavens, I was there.
He said, when he prepared the heavens, I was there. Go ahead.
When he set a compass upon the face of the depth.
Mm-hmm.
When he established the clouds above.
That's the firmament. Go ahead.
When he strengthened the fountains of the deep.
Read.
When he gave to the sea his decree that the waters should not pass his commandment. When he appointed the foundations of the earth. Then I was by him.
Then I was by him. Go ahead.
As one brought up with him.
As one brought up with him. That's why it says, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. Read that again, Yuri.
Then I was by him, as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth, and my delights were with the sons of men.
From there. Give me 2 Esdras 6 and 1. 2 Esdras 6 and 1.
2 Esdras chapter 6 and verse 1. And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made.
In the beginning, when the earth was made. Come on.
Before the borders of the world stood.
Before the borders of the world stood.
Or ever the winds blew. Before it thundered and lightened.
Before it thundered and lightened.
Or ever the foundations of paradise were laid.
Before paradise was even made. Go ahead.
Before the fair flowers were seen. Or ever the movable powers were established. Before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together.
So Christ is letting you know he was before the innumerable number of angels was made. Christ said, I was first. I am the Alpha. I am the Omega. Read that part again.
Before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together, or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys in Zion were hot, and ere the present years were sought out, and or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned, before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure.
Now watch this. Listen good. Listen good.
Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone.
They were all made through me alone. Go ahead.
And through none other.
And through none other. From there. Give me 2 Ezra 9:18. I just want to show you something. Now, we're going to cover this in a moment. When he says everything was made through me alone. We're going to cover that in a minute. But give me 2 Ezra 9:18 and 19.
2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 18. And now, when I prepared the world. Which was not yet made. Even for them to dwell in that now live. No man spake against me.
He said, no man spake against me. Go ahead.
For then everyone obeyed.
Wait a minute. He says now everybody was there and nobody spake against me. So we were all there. You wasn't ready for it. You wasn't ready. Read that again, Yuri.
And now, when I prepared the world, which was not yet made, even for them to dwell in that now live, no man spake against me, for then everyone obeyed.
That lets you know we was all there. He said everybody obeyed in the beginning. Go ahead.
But now the manners of them which are created in this world, that is, made, are corrupted by a perpetual seed, and by a law which is unsearchable rid themselves.
That helps us understand Jeremiah 1:5 now.
Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5.
Wait, Yuri, I'm kind of slow. Go ahead.
Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
Start at 4.
Yes, sir. Verse 4. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
Well, how? Because Jeremiah was there in the beginning. Go ahead.
And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nation.
So that was already ordained from the beginning when the Lord said, this is going to be a prophet on the earth. Okay, watch this. Isaiah 6, 1 and 2. Isaiah chapter 6, verse 1 and 2.
Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 1. In the year that King Uzziah...
Wait. Why do you keep going so... You know I'm slow.
Sorry, Bishop.
It's all right. They glad I'm slow because they slow too. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 1. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple.
That's some powerful stuff right there. Go ahead.
Above it stood the seraphims. Each one had 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, and with twain he covered his feet.
Hey, I'm going to explain something to you. Hey, Elisha, hopefully you can you find me the Ark of the Covenant? Ark of the Covenant. Find me the Ark. Find me the Ark. And Yuri, I want you to find me the scripture in Hebrews. I want Google, yeah. ARK. Yuri, I want you to find me the scripture where Paul says we can't now speak upon it, of which we cannot now speak. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to look. Y'all bear with me. I just got to find it. I don't remember. I'm just trying to find it. It's Hebrews chapter 9.
Yes, sir, I found it.
Okay, Elisha. Now, that's a good ark. Is there one with the mercy seat in the middle? Mercy seat on the ark. I just want to show brothers and sisters when I don't want to say too much. Just type in mercy seat on ark plus mercy seat. Plus mercy seat. Lift it, raise it up. Okay. See that one glowing right there? Glowing. The one glowing. Yes. Okay. When the Spirit of the Lord, now y'all see the ark, right? Now we know this is not the real ark, it's a depiction. You see the two angels with the cherubim, and you see the light in the center. That's when the Lord would speak to Moses and Aaron and them. Now, that design right there goes to Hebrews chapter 9. Can we get Hebrews chapter 9?
Hebrews chapter 9 and verse 4.
Wait. Start at verse 1, and we're going to read down. The point is in verse 5.
Verse 1. Then verily the first covenant had also ordinances of divine service and a worldly sanctuary. For there was a tabernacle made, the first, wherein was the candlestick, and the table and the showbread, which is called the sanctuary. And after the second veil, the tabernacle, which is called the holiest of all, which had the golden censer, and the ark of the covenant overlaid round about with gold.
This is what we wanted to get to. Go ahead.
Wherein was the golden pot that had manna, and Aaron's rod that budded, and the tables of the covenant.
All right, put it on the screen, Alicia. Can you put it on the screen? Read.
And over it, the cherubims of glory shadowing the mercy seat, of which we cannot now speak particularly.
So Paul said he's not allowed to speak particularly regarding what that signified. When we go back now to Isaiah chapter 6, let's start at verse 1 again, Yuri.
Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 1. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple.
Meaning the garment was long. Go ahead.
Above it stood the seraphims. Each one had 6 wings.
So on either side of the throne, you had seraphim. Each one had 6 wings. Go ahead.
With twain he covered his face.
2 of the wings covered the angel's face. Go ahead.
And with twain he covered his feet. And with twain he did fly.
So you had 2 angels, just like on the ark. The Most High sat in the middle. Amaziah, do me a favor. Lift one arm up. Lift both your arms up. Lift both. Face deep. So let's say this is the mercy seat. You got the Father there. Just like the ark. The angels had their wings. And they would cover. And when someone approached the throne, the wings would open. Like that. That's how it operated. That's how, everybody understand what I'm saying? I know I'm not an actor. I don't know how to do that stuff cool and all that, but it's similar to that on the mercy seat when that's what it's going into. All right, jump down, Yuri. Jump down to verse 22, 8. Verse 8.
Verse 8. Also, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us?
Go to the earth and prophesy. Go ahead.
Then said I, here am I, send me. And he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not.
So when he says to Isaiah, go, meaning Isaiah would have to be born in the earth again and grow up to the age when he prophesied. That's what Isaiah 6 is going into. Everybody understand that? We went over this before, so I'm just hitting key parts. From there, give me 2 Ezra chapter 3. So what we just read about Isaiah and Jeremiah precepts what we read in 2 Ezra 9 about in the beginning, no man spake against me, for then everybody obeyed. Everybody with me so far? I don't want to lose nobody. All right. Where'd I say go?
2 Ezra 3.
Yes, 2 Ezra chapter 3 and verse 5 and 6.
2 Ezra chapter 3 and verse 5. And gave us a body unto Adam without soul, which was the workmanship of thine hands, and didst breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before thee.
Now that's not the part I wanted, but go ahead, read on.
And thou leddest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted, before ever the earth came forward.
That's what I wanted. Paradise was created before the earth was made. So write that down. Paradise came first. That's the part I wanted. That's what I wanted. Now, we're going to go from there. Now, Yuri, we just read what? 2 Ezra 3. Give me 2 Ezra 8:52.
Second Esdras, chapter 8 and verse 52.
Watch what the angel says to Esdras.
For unto you is paradise opened. The tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared. Plenteous is made ready. A city is builded, and rest is allowed. Yea, perfect goodness and wisdom.
So paradise was already there. Like we read about Adam being put into paradise. Paradise was made first. This is why, watch this. Give me Luke 23:43. Luke 23 and 43.
Luke chapter 23, verse 43.
Start at verse 40.
Verse 40.
The men when they was on the cross. Go ahead.
But the other answering rebuked him, saying, dost not thou fear God?
So they were mocking, one of them was mocking Christ, one of the thieves. And the other thief on the cross cut him. Go ahead.
Seeing thou art in the same condemnation?
Yeah, capital punishment, death. Go ahead.
And we indeed justly.
Indeed justly deserve to die. Go ahead.
For we receive the due reward of our deeds.
Mm-hmm.
But this man have done nothing amiss.
How do we know that? How does he know that? It's obvious that man had to have known of Christ and followed him at one time. Churches use this to say, oh, I'm going to wait till I die, about to die, like the man on the cross. No, this man obviously had followed Christ. How would he know, but this man have done nothing amiss? How would he know that? He had to have been following Christ around, listening to him speak and watching, observing him. Everybody understand that? Go ahead, watch this.
Verse 42. And he said unto Jesus, Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom.
He said, Lord, remember me when you come. So he had to have known about Christ. He wasn't just no regular old thief. He had to have been walking with him, talking with him to know that this is the Lord. Everybody understand that? Stop letting these churches pull this. I'm going to wait till I die and then I'm going to ask the Lord, forgive my sins and I'm good. That's a lot. Watch this.
And Jesus said unto him, verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise.
Now, how was he able to say that? Because paradise been made long time before the earth was made. Paradise is already done. Everybody understand that? All righty then. Give me John chapter 1 now. Now, John chapter 1 is going to tie back into what we read a few minutes ago, a little while ago. Hey, Yuri, I think it was 2 Ezra 9:19. Let me hear it again. Just refresh my memory.
2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
For then everyone obeyed. But now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed.
Let me hear 18.
Verse 18. And now when I prepared the world, which was not yet made.
That's what I wanted right there. Yet when I prepared the world, which was not yet made. Go ahead.
Even for them to dwell in that now live.
Mm-hmm.
No man spake against me.
Nobody spake against me. Go ahead.
For then everyone obeyed.
We were all there. We all obeyed in the beginning. Now, here's a precept to that. John chapter 1, verse 1.
John chapter 1 and verse 1.
Going too fast. Go ahead.
In the beginning.
In the beginning. In your beginning. Go ahead.
Was the Word.
Was the Word.
And the Word was with God.
Mm-hmm.
And the Word was God.
And the Word was God. Go ahead.
The same was in the beginning with God.
Mm-hmm. See that part right there? The same was in the beginning with God. Churches get tripped up on this thing right here. Not only is he talking about the Father, not mean when I say he, I'm talking about not only is Christ saying he was with God, talking about the Father, it's talking about all those spirits, the innumerable angels. Remember we read that. And the men that obeyed in the beginning, remember that? All of us was made in the beginning. In the beginning. Anybody lost? I know it's cognitive dissonance because of the church. No, that ain't what Pastor T.D. Jakes said. I already know. Read it again.
In the beginning was the Word, mm-hmm. and the Word was with God.
Now, just to help you out here, verse 14, you're just to help the young brothers, verse 14.
Verse 14, and the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us.
Stop. Who is that, brothers? All right, go back to verse 1, Yuri.
Verse 1, in the beginning was the Word.
Who's the Word, brothers? Okay, go ahead.
And the Word was with God.
And the Word was with God. Go ahead.
And the Word was God.
And the Word was God. Go ahead.
The same was in the beginning with God.
That terminology, God, which in the Hebrew they pronounce it Elohim or Elohim, which is plural. It's plural. It's not singular. Everybody understand that? Sometimes it can be used singular, but the majority of the time when you read it, it's in a plural context. Read again, Yuri.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God.
Churches use this to say, oh, that means Christ is the Father. No. Give me that, Yuri, real quick, just to help people out. 1 Corinthians 11, I think it is, 3 and 4.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. For I would, a second, excuse me. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. Meaning the Father. Everybody see that right there? You see the distinction and difference, right? All right, go back to John chapter 1. And read verse 2 again. John chapter 1 and verse 2. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made.
That's what we read in Proverbs chapter 8. Without Christ, there was nothing made that was made. Go ahead.
In him was life, and the life was the light of men.
And the life was the light of men. Go ahead.
And the light shineth in darkness.
All this is going back to Genesis. And the light shineth in darkness. Go ahead.
And the darkness comprehended it not.
And the darkness comprehended. Like I said, that's a metaphor. Because you can look at just the typical sense of darkness. But notice it says, and the darkness comprehended it not. That's talking about people. That's talking about souls and spirits. Everybody see that? Read again, Yuri, that part, that verse.
In him, and the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not.
So in the beginning, when we read, let there be light, that's Christ right there. That's Christ. He's letting you know right there again. There's multiple scriptures. Go ahead.
Verse 6. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light.
To bear witness of the light, capital L. He said, that's the light there. Go ahead.
That all men through him might believe.
Read.
He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light.
John the Baptist was not the light. He came to bear witness of the light you read about. In the beginning, God said, let there be light. Read.
That was the true light.
That was the true light. Go ahead.
Which lighteth every man that cometh into the world.
Now, I know some of y'all are new. Remember, it's talking about the world of Israel. It's not talking about China and all that. It's talking about the Israelites that were scattered throughout the world. Does everybody understand that? All right, go ahead.
Verse 10. He was in the world, and the world was made by him.
See that? He was in the world, and the world was made by him, meaning Christ. Go ahead.
And the world knew him not.
And the world knew him not. That's why in Proverbs 8, Christ said, before everything was made, I was there. I was first. Go ahead.
He came unto his own, and his own received him not.
Oh, here go the churches. Pull that one. Give me that. Here's the precept. Give me Mark 8:31.
Mark chapter 8, verse 31. And he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected.
Be what?
Be rejected of the elders and of the chief priests and scribes and be killed, and after 3 days rise again.
Now let's go. Now we understand who rejected Christ. Back to John 1 and verse 11 again.
He came unto his own, and his own received him not.
Didn't the apostles receive him? Hey, give me that other one in John 6:15. Here's another precept just to help y'all out when y'all out on the street or you're talking to your mama who thinks she know everything. John 6:15.
John chapter 6 and verse 15. When Jesus therefore perceived that they would come and take him by force to make him a king.
To make him a what?
A king.
The people wanted to take Christ and make him their king. What do you mean he came into his own and everybody rejected him? You crazy people out there. Give me a John 12. What'd you say? I ain't get a bomb. Give me John 12:11. I'm back in New York. John 12:11.
John chapter 12, verse 11. Because that by reason of him, many of the Jews went away and believed on Jesus.
So what do you mean? Nobody received. He came unto his own received him not. Go ahead.
And on the next day, much people that were come to the feast, when they heard that Jesus was coming to Jerusalem, took branches of palm trees and went forth to meet him and cried, Hosanna, blessed is the King of Israel that cometh in the name of the Lord.
So what do you mean, churches? When you say he came unto his own, all the Israelites rejected Jesus. So now the gospel's to the church, the Baptists. These lies, brothers, we got to shut every lie down. Let's go back to John 1. And where were we at? We were in verse 11. That was it.
John chapter 1, verse 11. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name.
Now, all those precepts we just read are those Israelites that believed on him to become the sons of God. Go ahead.
Which were born not of blood, nor of the will of flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God.
That's a heavy verse right there. Which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. Remember, we were all in the beginning with the Lord, right? Remember, he said to Jeremiah, he said, I ordained you a prophet from the beginning. Remember that? Everybody that believed was ordained from the beginning. You got to imagine it. He created angels and spirits and souls. He said, this group's going to believe. This group's going to believe. This group over here, I don't want y'all to believe when y'all come back. But this group here is going to believe on me. Y'all listen, read it again.
Which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God.
Come on.
And the word was made flesh and dwelt among us.
That's Christ. Go ahead.
And we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth.
From there, give me Matthew chapter 4 and verse 15. Matthew. You thought the party was over. The party ain't over. Matthew 4:15.
Matthew chapter 4 and
14, verse 14, yeah.
And verse 14. That it might be fulfilled.
Let's start at 12. Real quick, Yuri, please.
Verse 12. Now when Jesus had heard that John was cast into prison, he departed into Galilee. And leaving Nazareth, he came and dwelt in Capernaum, which is upon the seacoast in the borders of Zebulun and Naphtali, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet.
That's Isaiah saying what?
The land of Zebulun.
Land of Zebulun. Now remember, it called up above it. No, read on.
In the land of Naphtali, by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles.
Notice it's calling Zebulun and Naphtali what, brothers? Gentiles. Zebulun, that's in one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Naphtali, that's one of the 12 tribes of Israel. They were called Gentiles. Write that down. That's another precept. Read on.
The people which sat in darkness.
We sat in darkness, read.
Saw great light.
So what?
Great light.
In the beginning, God said, let there be light. Everybody understand that? So that great light, that light is Christ. Read on.
And to them which sat in the region and shadow of death, light is sprung up.
See that? Read that again. And to them which what?
And to them which sat in the region and shadow of death, light is sprung up.
Light is sprung up. That was okay. Oh, you doing the bombs? So I'm cursing you out. Not you got me thinking it's Elisha. I'm sorry, Elisha. It's this dude over here. Oh, Lord in heaven. You got me? All right. Give me Matthew 17. Matthew 17. He's writing. Matthew 17 and 1.
Matthew chapter 17 and verse 1.
I knew it already. You said you knew Genesis. I said, okay, good. So you ain't got to write too much. Come on.
Matthew chapter 17 and verse 1. And after 6 days, Jesus taketh Peter, James, and John, his brother, and bringeth them up into an high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them. And his face did shine as the sun.
Christ's face did shine as the sun. Go ahead.
And his raiment was white as the light.
Give me the next picture, Alicia. Not that one. Nope. Oh, no, forget it. Forget it, Alicia. Just read on.
Verse 3. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses.
Put that on the screen. There appeared unto him Moses. Go ahead.
And Elias talking with him.
And Elias talking with us. Elijah. Put on the next one, Alicia. Right. Elijah, put on the screen, talking with him. Now, can you put the three of them? Yes, put that on the screen. You could, yes, read that again.
And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elias talking with him.
So this is what Peter, James, and John, this is just a depiction again. They looked and saw the three of them talking. And it said Christ was glowing like the sun. Read.
Then answered Peter and said unto Jesus, Lord, it is good for us to be here.
You could take it off the screen, Alicia.
If thou wilt, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them. And behold, a voice out of the cloud, which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him.
Meaning Christ is over Moses. Christ is over Elijah. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Give me Revelation 21 and 23. That was a good bomb. It was a good bomb. Revelation 21, 23.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 23. And the city had no need of the sun.
New Jerusalem going to have no need of the sun. Go ahead.
Neither of the moon.
Neither of the moon. Go ahead.
To shine in it.
Uh-huh.
For the glory of God did lighten it.
For the glory of God did lighten it. Go ahead.
And the Lamb is the light thereof.
And the Lamb, that's Christ, is the light thereof. Give me chapter 22 and verse 13.
Revelation chapter 22, verse 13. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last.
So when Christ said that, he meant that thing. He's the first and he's the last. Give me Exodus 33, 17, please. Exodus 33 and verse 17. We're going to read down, Yuri.
Yes, sir. Exodus chapter 33 and verse 17. And the Lord said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name. And he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory.
Moses said, show me your glory, Lord. Go ahead.
And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee.
And I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee. Go ahead.
And will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. And he said, thou canst not see my face.
He said to Moses, you cannot see my face, Moses. Go ahead.
For there shall no man see me and live.
No man can see me and live. He's in his glory. He said, you can't see me and live. Go ahead.
And the Lord said, behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon a rock. And it shall come to pass, while my glory passeth by, that I will put thee in a cleft of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by. And I will take away mine hand, and thou shalt see my back parts, but my face shall not be seen.
But my face shall not be seen. Give me Exodus 34, 29. I'm going to give you the answer in a minute. Exodus 34, 29.
Exodus chapter 34 and verse 29. And it came to pass, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of testimony in Moses' hand, when he came down from the mount, that Moses was not, that the skin of his face shone while he talked with them.
Don't we realize when Moses went to talk to the Lord on the mountain, When he came down, his face was shining. It was glowing. Go ahead.
And when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come nigh him. And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him, and Moses talked with them. And afterward, all the children of Israel came nigh, and he gave them in commandment all that the Lord has spoken with him in Mount Sinai. Until Moses had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face.
Moses had to put a veil on his face. His face glowed so much. Go ahead.
But when Moses went in before the Lord to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. And he came out and spake unto the children of Israel that which he was commanded. And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, that the skin of Moses' face shone. And Moses put the veil upon his face again until he went in to speak with them.
Now, the question is, did Moses see the Lord in the beginning? What we just read in chapter 33. Here's the answer. John 1:18.
John chapter 1, verse 18.
Start at 17.
Verse 17. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ. No man has seen God at any time.
What?
No man has seen God at any time.
Go ahead.
The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him.
So what is Christ saying? No man saw the Father at any time. So who was that? That was Christ that Moses was dealing with. Thank you, Amaziah. I appreciate that little bomb you gave me. Give me John 6:46.
John chapter 6, verse 46. Not that any man have seen the Father, save he which is of God, he hath seen the Father.
So what is Christ saying? He said, the only one that's seen the Father is me. Nobody else. No, Moses did not see the Father. Christ said, I'm the only one who have seen the Father. Whoa, that's some heavy stuff right there. I can't get a bomb or nothing. Oh, thanks, Amaziah. I appreciate that. Give me Colossians chapter 1 and 12.
Colossians chapter 1 and verse 12.
Wait. Let me find Colossians, please. Ah, Lord, help me. Help me. Go ahead. Got it.
Giving thanks unto the Father, which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light.
In light. Giving inheritance of the saints in light. Go ahead.
Who have delivered us from the power of darkness.
Who have delivered us from the power of darkness. That's two. Remember that Job 11:6. The scriptures are written double to that which is. Go ahead.
And have translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son.
Come on.
In whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. Who is the image of the invisible God.
Christ is the image of the invisible God. Go ahead.
The firstborn of every creature.
So that goes back to when he said, I'm Alpha and Omega. I am the beginning. Christ is the firstborn of everything. Go ahead.
For by him were all things created.
Now he explains it. For by him, Christ, were all things created. That goes with John chapter 1. Go ahead.
That are in heaven and that are in earth.
And that are in earth. Go ahead.
Visible and invisible.
Visible and invisible. He made the angels too. Go ahead.
Whether they be thrones.
Whether they be thrones.
Or dominions.
Or dominions.
Or principalities.
Or principalities.
Or powers.
Or powers.
All things were created by him and for him.
Everything was created by Christ and for him. Go ahead.
And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. And he is the head of the body.
Christ is the head of the body.
The church.
That's Israel. Now, give me that precept, Yuri. In Acts 7, is it 46 about the church that was in the wilderness. That one. Because a Christian will pull that on you, go, see, the church. We Baptists. We Mormons. No, they ain't talk about that. You know what I want, Yuri?
Yes, sir.
Where we going? Acts 7 what?
Verse 38.
38. Thank you.
You can start at verse 37.
Okay, start there.
Acts chapter 7, verse 37. This is that Moses, which said unto the children of Israel, a prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you
Referring to Christ.
of your brethren, like unto me,
Like unto me. That's Moses. Go ahead.
him shall ye hear.
Him shall you hear. That's Christ. Him, you got to hear him. Go ahead.
This is he that was in the church in the wilderness.
So the church in the wilderness is the children of Israel. The church in the wilderness, the church in the Bible is the children of Israel. It is not no damn Baptist. It is not no Pentecostals. It is not no Jehovah Witness. It is not no Seventh-day damn Adventists. Y'all excuse my French. Come on back to Colossians chapter 1 and verse 18.
And he is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have the preeminence. Mm-hmm. For it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell.
So it pleased the Father to make Christ the head of everything. He's the leader. He's the chief cornerstone. He's the commander and chief. Everybody understand that? Now let's go on back to Genesis chapter 1. Now we went all of that. Now we know what's happening here a little bit. Give me verse 5 again.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night.
Remember the scripture called Christ the day star. Y'all remember that, right? Some of you already forgot it. Go ahead.
And the evening and the morning were the first day.
And the evening and the morning were the first day. Now, let's go on back, because I know some of us forgot. Going back to 2 Ezra 6 and 38. I know some of us forgot. So I'm just going to 6. Let me look. Let's read 38 to 40.
2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 38. And I said, O Lord, thou spakest from the beginning of the creation, even the first day, and said thus, let heaven and earth be made.
That's what we read in Genesis 1 and 1.
And thy word was a perfect work. Mm-hmm. And then was the spirit, and darkness, and silence were on every side. The sound of man's voice was not yet formed.
No man was formed yet. Go ahead.
Then commandest thou a fair light to come forth of thy treasures.
Who was that fair light, brothers? Read.
That thy work might appear.
Now let's go back to Genesis chapter 1. And we're going to read 6 through 8.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 6. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters.
Now, you might be confused because it says waters there. That word waters translates to elements. That's what it's talking about. Alicia, can you put that on the screen? When it talks about the firmament, it's talking about the clouds that separate the earth's atmosphere from space. Read that again, Yuri.
And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters.
Let it divide the elements of space from the elements of our atmosphere. That's all it's saying. Go ahead.
And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament.
That's our heaven right here. Go ahead.
From the waters which were above the firmament.
That's space.
And it was so.
And it was so.
And God called the firmament heaven.
God called the firmament heaven.
And the evening and the morning were the second day.
Now give me 2 Ezra 6:41.
Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 41. Upon the second day thou madest the spirit of the firmament, and commandest it to part asunder, and to make a division betwixt the waters, that the one part might go up.
That's space.
And the other remaineth beneath.
That's our atmosphere, what we're breathing now. Let's go back to Genesis now. Alicia, did you put all those pictures up of the firmament? Okay, because I wasn't looking. Back to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 9 now, right? That's
yes,
where
sir.
you're at, Yuri?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Verse 9. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so.
Okay, Alicia, come on. Let's dry land. The waters and the dry land. Go ahead, put it up on the screen so we can see some visuals. Give me the next one. I don't like that one, but I like this one. Zoom in. Can we zoom in? Thank you. Give me the next one. Let me see the next one. Where's the water? Yep, put that on. I like that. That's good. Give me the next one. Okay. You got some dry grass patches, but you're all right, Alicia. Come on. Give me the next one. Go ahead. All right, give me the next one. Go ahead, blow it up. Give me the next one. Okay, go ahead. Give me the next one. Okay. Did you get some waters, Alicia? Because we just read about waters. I didn't see any. Yes, can we put the waters? Yes. Okay, yes, put it on the screen. Yes, the waters. What, Yuri, what verse were you at? Read verse. What verse you at again, Yuri?
We just read verse 9.
Okay, go ahead.
And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth.
So God called the dry land earth. Alicia, can we show the earth now? Alicia? We have a picture of earth. Alicia, can we have a picture of the earth? Yes, yes, yes. Ooh, y'all don't know what I go through up here. I know I sound mean. People, he's mean. A woman did a video, cursed me out because I'm yelling at IT. A whole 45-minute video cursing me out. You're Alicia? So I'm USA, I'm doing Bad Boys. USA. Can we show another picture of the earth? Okay. Thank you. That's nice. That's nice. See, I'm talking nice. Go ahead. Is there another one? Yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. Very nice. All right. Yuri, can we read that verse again?
Yes, sir. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good.
Read.
And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind.
Do we have any pictures of, I know I sent some. Go ahead. Keep going.
After his kind.
No, wait, right there. Can you put that on the screen? That's some nice stuff right there. See how nice that is? It's how pleasant. Any more, Officer Alicia? Okay. Yeah, that's nice too. I like that. See that? That's some nice stuff right there. It's very beautiful. Beautiful. Any more, Alicia? Was that it? That's a desert. We don't want a desert. Okay. Yuri? Okay, that's very pretty. I don't like that one because the sun wasn't made yet. I like that one. Any more? Okay, that's very nice. I got to talk like this so people don't think I'm being mean. See that? Beautiful, beautiful. Wow. Yuri, where we at?
Verse 11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind.
We have any fruit trees, Alicia? If we don't, it's okay. It's all right. Do we have any? Okay, we don't have any fruit trees. All right. Yuri, where we at?
Whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so.
Read.
Verse 12. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day.
What I forgot to mention that I want you to pay very close attention to. Notice every day it says the evening first. The evening and the morning, because that's how God's days go. It starts in the evening. Esau turned everything upside down. They said the day starts at midnight, right? Midnight, middle of the evening. So all that's wrong. That's why when you go to Yuri, give me Psalm about prayer, Psalms 55:17. This is why when in the Bible it talks about praying 3 times a day.
Psalms chapter 55, verse 17. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray.
Y'all see that? It starts with evening first. Starts with evening first. So let's go on back, Yuri. Where we at now? You read the third day, right? You read the third day. Give me 2nd Ezra 6:42.
2nd Ezra.
Thank you for the fruit trees, Alicia. Thank you. Thank you so much.
2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 42. Upon the third day, thou didst command that the waters should be gathered in the 7th part of the earth. 6 parts hast thou dried up and kept them, to the intent that of these some being planted of God and tilled might serve thee.
Read.
For as soon as thy word went forth, the work was made. For immediately there was great and innumerable fruit.
Okay, Alicia, do we have any fruit? Oh, yeah. Thank you. You can just put the whole thing on the screen. Put the whole thing on the screen. It's fine. Or pick a picture if you like. Pick the one with multitudes. Yeah, that's good. No, I don't want the building in the back. Yeah. Get me. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. Ooh, that's very good. Very good. That's very good. Okay, put it on the screen. Is there another one, Alicia, that we could look at that's more red? I do like that, but I would like one more red. You know, yeah, like one of those. Yeah. Pick one of those. Okay, that's good. You put on. Alicia, Yuri, can you read that verse again?
Yes, sir. For immediately there was great and innumerable fruit, and many and diverse pleasures for the taste, and flowers of unchangeable color, and odors of wonderful smell. And this was done the third day.
So that was the third day, brothers and sisters, the third day. So now, what we're going to do, let's go back to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 14. Now we're on day 4.
And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made 2 great lights.
And God made two great lights. Alicia, can we take a look at the 2 lights? That's 1 light, Alicia. There's pictures with the 2 lights. Right there's good. Let's put that on the screen. And God made 2 great lights. Read that again, Alicia. Yuri.
And God made 2 great lights.
Is there another picture of the 2 great lights? Yes. Put that on the screen. Very good. He made 2 great lights. Read.
The greater light to rule the day.
Now, can you read, Alicia? Can you get the greater light that rules the day? What's that black thing? Can you find me one without a black spot? Okay, that's fine. There you go right there. You cooking with gas. Ooh-sa. Yuri, where are we at?
Verse 16.
Read it again.
And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night.
Can we get the lesser light to rule the... Yes. Lesser light to rule the night. Go ahead.
He made the stars also.
And he made the stars also. So now, what I want to point out with that is that, thank you. That's very good. Leave it right there. When God first made the moon, I got to keep stressing this. Some people believe that God made a quarter moon or a half a moon. It said he made 2, what's the terms, brothers? Great lights. Great. A quarter of a moon is not a great light. Half a moon is not a great light. It's talking about the full moon. That's the new moon. Okay. Thank you. Back in verse 14, Yuri.
Verse 14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
Now get that in Sirach 43, I believe it is. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. Ecclesiasticus chapter 43 and verse, I want the moon. The moon, yes, sir. Verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feast.
From the moon is the sign of feast. Go ahead.
A light that decreases.
A light that, you go put on the screen. A light that decreases. So it starts off as a great light, then it decreases. Go ahead.
A light that decreases in her perfection. The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully.
Now, then it says increasing, because you see, it should be, then we got to do our own, I see there. But you see, you got full, right? But that's the full one is really the new moon. So you notice it decreases to that dark moon that says new. Then Yuri, what's the next part said?
Increasing wonderfully in her changing.
Now, then it increases back to the original stage of that great light. Everybody see that? Read.
Being an instrument of the armies above.
Meaning the angels in heaven.
Shining in the firmament of heaven.
All right. Let's go on back to Genesis, shall we? Let's go back to Genesis. Now we're on day 5. Genesis chapter 1 and 20.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 20.
Elisha, you okay? You okay over there? I see you wiping sweat. It's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. Genesis 1 and 20.
And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven.
What a lot of people don't realize, birds were formed in the waters. Birds were formed in the waters. Can you put that up? Put it on the screen. So from the earth beneath, this what we call sand at the bottom, that's when the Lord formed all the sea mammals, including birds. Read it again, Yuri.
Verse 20, and God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven.
Okay. Elisha, got any more birds in the waters? Okay. Birds in the waters. Go ahead. If you notice, birds got like hollow bones. Very brittle, hollow bones. Okay. Was there more, Elisha? Read on, Yuri.
And God created great whales.
And God created great whales. Now, we want to pause there. Elisha, can you give me the etymology of the term? Yes. Now, when you go to the Blue Letter Bible, y'all see verse, can you zoom in? You see verse 21, and God created great whales, right? Now, if you go to the Blue Letter Bible, all you have to do is click the 21 there. And when you click the 21, go to the next one, Elisha. Zoom into the top, zoom into the top, zoom into the top. Genesis 1:21. And God created great whales. And it gives you an understanding on what it means by whales. Lift it. Okay. Now, you see right there, it says whales. I circled it for you. I made it easy. Okay. That's the word for whales there. Go to the next one now. Let's zoom in. Let's look at whales. Great whales. Read that.
Great whales. Those vast sea monsters known by that name, though elsewhere this word be applied to great dragons of the earth.
The word whales there is translated dragons. Give me the next one. Raise it up. So when you look up this word, read that, Yuri. That's what whales translates to.
Dragon, serpent, sea monster, dragon or dinosaur, sea or river monster, serpent, venomous snake.
That's what the word whales translates to. So now when we go back to Genesis chapter 1.
Genesis chapter 1 verse 21. And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth.
So not yet. Yep, you could put that on the screen. That one right there. Okay, you put it on the screen. Is there any more fish? Let's see what was made. We saw the birds. Now give me, Elisha, come on, roll with me. Come on, give me some more. I need the fish. Yeah, come on, put it on the screen. Thank you. These are different types of fish. You got your great white shark in the center there. Okay, you see some with fins and scales, some with fins and no scales. Shark has fins but no scales. Unclean, unclean. Is there any more, Alicia? Go ahead. This is everybody's favorite, the orca. There's arguments whether or not they call it killer whale, but it says more closely related in the dolphin family. Okay. Is there any more, Alicia? Okay, this is a fish with fins and scales. These are clean foods that we can eat. Okay. It has fins and scales. Okay. Yuri, what verse did you read down to?
We're still in verse 21.
You stopped at verse 21?
Yes, sir. We're still in it.
Okay, go ahead.
And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind.
Those are the birds. Go ahead.
And God saw that it was good. Mm-hmm. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in
the seas,
and let fowl multiply in the earth.
And let the birds multiply in the earth. Now from there, let's go to 2nd Esdras. Chapter 6. What verse we going to, Yuri?
Verse 47.
That's where it starts?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Upon the 5th day, thou settest unto the 7th part.
Remember, we're talking about the 5th day. Read.
Where the waters were gathered, that it should bring forth living creatures.
That it should bring forth living creatures.
Fowls and fishes.
See that? Birds and fishes. Go ahead.
And so it came to pass. For the dumb water and without life brought forth living things.
It says dumb water because the water itself doesn't have any intelligence. That's why it's saying dumb water. Go ahead.
Brought forth living things at the commandment of God, that all people might praise thy wondrous works.
Here it comes.
Then didst thou ordain 2 living creatures, the one thou callest Enoch, and the other Leviathan.
So Enoch and Leviathan, anybody got a little number next to Enoch in their Bible? I got one, but I want to see if y'all got one. What does it say? Which is behemoth, right. Behemoth is another word for dinosaur, so write that down. Read again, verse 49.
Then didst thou ordain 2 living creatures, the one thou calledest Enoch, and the other Leviathan, and didst separate the one from the other, for the 7th part, namely, where the water was gathered together, might not hold them both.
So the behemoth, which is Enoch, and Leviathan could not stay together. God said, I got to separate these 2 beasts. Go ahead.
Unto Enoch thou gavest 1 part, which was dried up the 3rd day, that he should dwell in the same part, wherein are 1,000 hills.
So now we're going to talk about Enoch. Give me Job chapter 40. And we're going to start at verse 15. Job chapter 40. Job explains.
Job chapter 40.
Wait. Can I get it first? Thank you. Job chapter 40. And we are at verse 15. Come on.
Job chapter 40 and verse 15. Behold now, behemoth, which I made with thee, he eateth grass as an ox.
So now, some of y'all might have a little number in your Bible next to behemoth there. What does it say? Elephant. We're going to see if this is an elephant. Let's just read down. Go ahead.
Lo, now his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly. He moved his tail like a cedar.
He moves his tail like a tree. His tail is like a cedar tree. Hey, Alicia, do me a favor. Can you find me an elephant's tail? I've seen elephants. I've been to the circus, rode on elephants. I've seen their tails. Yes. Yep. Any one of those. Come on, any day now. Very good. Okay, that's the elephant's tail. That's not a cedar tree. Now, Alicia, can you find me a cedar tree? Because maybe, I know some of y'all from the city, you don't know, what's a cedar? C-E-D-E-R tree. Images.
Hey, brothers, that's what I told you about those notes. You see this class? This class make you think from what Esau taught us. Different. This class, that's why this class is heavy. That's a heavy class right there. I know some of you is going to go over your heads, but you got to go over it again and again. And how you go over it? By your notes. I'm telling you, this to make you think different. Now you're like, now, when Bishop bring this out, you got to think what? Damn, Esau been lying to me. I was lying to. Now you got to learn different.
Elisha, is that a cedar tree? Okay, put it on the screen. Well, that's a cedar tree. That's way bigger than an elephant's tail. Would you say so? All right. So read it again, Yuri. And Elisha, give me the original image.
He moveth his tail like a cedar.
He moveth his tail like a cedar. Elisha? Yes. Put it on the screen. Keep it there. Read on.
The sinews of his stones are wrapped together.
Uh-huh.
His bones are as strong pieces of brass.
Mm-hmm.
His bones are like bars of iron.
This is talk about Behemoth. Enoch, go ahead.
He is the chief of the ways of God.
He is the chief of the ways of God. I mean, he's the largest. He's the greatest in the ways of God. Go ahead.
He that made him can make his sword to approach unto him.
Come on.
Surely the mountains bring him forth food.
He's so big, the mountains bring him food. That's where he gets his food. Go ahead.
Where all the beasts of the field play.
Where all the beasts of the field play. Now, we didn't even get to the beasts being created yet. Go ahead.
He lieth under the shady trees, in the covert of the reed and fens.
Read.
The shady trees cover him with their shadow. The willows of the brook compass him about. Behold, he drinketh up a river and hasteth not. He trusteth, and he can draw up Jordan into his mouth.
He said, I could drink the river up. This ain't no elephant. Go ahead.
He taketh it with his eyes. His nose pierceth through snares.
Meaning you can't trap him. This ain't no Jurassic Park where you're going to throw a net on him. No. God said it's not that. He's not that kind of a creature that I made. Now, from there, Elisha, did you put all the images of Behemoth up? Can I see him? Because I didn't look. Let me look. I got a fact check. Come on. Okay, I saw that one. Put it on the screen. You put it on the screen. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, there was another one. Oh, no, there was another one. There was another one. You messed me up, Elisha, but it's all right. Let's go to Job 41. Let's go to Job 41.
Verse 1, sir?
Yes, verse 1.
Job chapter 41, verse 1. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook?
Now let's talk about Leviathan. Anybody got a little number there? Yeah, you could have put that one back. You put that up. You could put that up. Okay, that's Job 40. That's Job 40. Okay, take it off the screen so we don't get confused. All right, who got a little number in their Bible? You got one? What does it say? Whale. So showing you the translation. Leviathan's translated as whale. Let's read and see if Leviathan is a whale. Go ahead.
Canst thou draw out Leviathan with the hook, or his tongue with the cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put an hook through his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee?
You know how white man put lions in a circus and an elephant in a circus? God is saying, can you play with Leviathan like that? Can you put a hook in his nose and drag him around, make him do what you want to do? Make him jump through hoops, maybe? Let's read on.
Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever?
Will you take him as a pet forever? Go ahead.
Wilt thou play with him as with a bird? Or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thy hand upon him. Remember the battle, do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him?
He said, the way Leviathan look, you're going to give up the ghost as soon as you see him. He's not the kind of a creature you could just look at and go, oh, pretty, look, let's play, let's feed the animals. He said he's not that type of a creature. Go ahead.
None is so fierce that dares stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Mm-hmm. Who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine.
Come on.
I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportions.
Because his proportions is huge. Go ahead.
Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle?
You're going to put a bridle on him like a pony? Go ahead.
Who can open the doors of his face?
Mm-hmm.
His teeth are terrible round about.
Does an elephant have teeth that is terrible? No, not at all. Go ahead.
His scales are
What about a whale? What about a whale? No. Go ahead.
His scales are his pride.
His scales are his pride. Go ahead.
Shut up together as with a close seal.
Uh-huh.
One is so near to another.
His scales are so near to another
that no air can come between them.
This ain't a whale. This ain't an elephant. This ain't a crocodile. The hell is this? Go ahead.
They are joined one to another. They stick together.
You can put it on the screen, Alicia. I'm sorry. You just put it on the screen. There you go. These are now these. Nobody has lived that saw Leviathan. So we have to go by the artist's renditions. Go ahead.
They are joined one to another. They stick together.
Talking about the scales. Go ahead.
That they cannot be sundered.
Mm-hmm.
By his neesings, a light doeth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning.
Bright. Go ahead.
Out of his mouth go burning lamps.
Uh-oh.
And sparks of fire leap out.
This sounds familiar. You know where they got Godzilla from? They got it from here. Go ahead.
Out of his nostrils.
Go ahead.
Out of his nostrils goeth forth. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot of cauldron. His breath kindleth coals.
Now I want y'all to peep this. Just listen to what I'm about to say. In the Bible, it said Jonah was swallowed by a whale. That wasn't no little blue whale or orca. It's talking about Leviathan. Everybody understand that? That's what it's talking about. Come on.
Verse 21. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth.
Damn. Come on.
And his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved.
You can't move his scales. Go ahead.
His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone.
So imagine you trying to pierce, not only can you not get through his scales, you cannot pierce the heart, God says. Go ahead.
When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid.
You see that?
By reason of breakings, they purify themselves. Mm-hmm. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold. The spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. Mm-hmm. He esteemeth iron.
The habergeon is a breastplate. Go ahead.
He esteemeth iron as straw.
He said iron in front of Leviathan's like straw. Damn. Go ahead.
And brass as rotten wood.
So you ain't building no cage for him. Go ahead.
The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp-pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot.
Damn.
He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. Upon earth there is not his like, who is made without fear. He beholdeth all high things. He is a king over all the children of pride.
So that's some stuff right there. Let's go on.
Bishop, there's some pictures in the telegram that Joel wanted to show concerning Jonah being swallowed up by the whale, by a big fish.
Oh, yeah.
Leviathan.
Mm-hmm. Read that.
The semicircle compartments at the ends of the arms of the cross called lunettes to the Old Testament story of Jonah and the sea monster, Jonah 1 and 2, in which God caused Jonah to be thrown overboard in a storm, swallowed by a monster, and repentant and unscathed 3 days later.
So what I want y'all to see is that our ancestors in the past knew it was a sea monster. They never said it was a little whale or a shark. They said it was a sea monster that swallowed Jonah. Okay, was there any more? Yep, that's the drawing right there. Go ahead. Next one. Okay. All right. Go. So, Yuri, where are we at now?
You want to go back to Genesis?
I want to go back to, yeah, and Jonah's black, by the way. Let's go on back to 2nd Ezra 6. 2nd Ezra 6.
2nd Ezra, chapter 6, and verse 51. Unto Enoch thou gavest one part, which was dried up the 3rd day, that he should dwell in the same part, wherein are 1,000 hills. But unto Leviathan thou gavest the 7th part, namely the moist.
That's the water. Go ahead.
And hast kept him to be devoured of whom thou wilt and when.
So God preserves Leviathan. He says, your purpose is to kill. I want you, when people, hey, put them pictures back up on the screen with the ships that disappear in the Bermuda Triangle and all of that. Elisha. Not that one, Elisha. Yeah, like that. Put that on the screen. You ain't messing with that. Not at all. Give me some more. You ain't even running. You ain't go. That's not. Come on, Alicia. You see, as soon as you see that, the spirit's gone. That's how Jonah. Something that size is how Jonah was able to survive inside the belly and not die because it's huge. Any more, Alicia? Alicia, is there any more? Okay. Right. Was there any more? Okay, very good. I like that one. That's a good one right there. You're going to give up the ghost on them things. I know I would. Shoot. There we go. There we go. So all your little Hollywood movies, they get it from the Word of God. They know what's going on. They read the scriptures. Okay. All right. So, Yuri, where are we at now? We're back. We're on day 6. You put it on the screen. You can put that on the screen, Alicia. You put it on the screen. That's a good one, though. I like that. Yeah, Jonah and the whale. I like that.
What is nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support